Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, unraveling the mysteries of the past and illuminating the present. Today, we find ourselves at the threshold of a fascinating tale, one that spans centuries and continents, the rise and decline of the Ottoman Empire. As we delve into this captivating narrative, let us begin by setting the stage for the earliest history of this magnificent civilization. In the late 13th century, the Byzantine Empire, which had once been the epicenter of Eastern Roman power, was in decline. The Seljuk Turks, a nomadic people from Central Asia, had begun to make inroads into Anatolia, the westernmost protrusion of Asia Minor. It was amidst this tumultuous landscape that the Ottoman Empire would eventually emerge. Our story begins in the year 1299, when Osman I, a Turkish tribal leader, declared independence from the Seljuk Turks and established his own principality in northwestern Anatolia. Osman's domain was situated in the fertile valley of the Sakarya River, near the town of Soğuk, which would become the first Ottoman capital. This strategic location allowed the early Ottomans to control the trade routes between Europe and Asia, fostering economic growth and cultural exchange. The surrounding landscape, with its rolling hills, dense forests, and sparkling waterways, would also provide a picturesque backdrop for the Ottoman Empire's formative years. As we explore the earliest history of the Ottoman Empire, it becomes clear that the confluence of geography, culture, and politics created a unique environment in which this nascent state could thrive. The Ottoman heartland, situated at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, facilitated trade and cultural exchange between East and West. The region's rich agricultural resources, including fertile plains and abundant water sources, supported a growing population and provided a solid foundation for economic growth. One of the key figures in Osman's life was Sheikh Edebali, a revered spiritual leader who would become his mentor and guide. Under Edebali's tutelage, Osman developed a deep understanding of Islamic theology and the importance of living a virtuous life. This spiritual foundation would later inform the Ottoman Empire's administrative and social structures, as well as its relationships with neighboring states. The early Ottomans were skilled warriors, adept at using their mobility and military prowess to expand their territory and protect their interests. They employed innovative tactics, such as the use of mounted archers and light cavalry, which allowed them to outmaneuver their enemies and secure key victories. The Ottoman army's discipline, organization, and adaptability would eventually become legendary, striking fear into the hearts of their adversaries. As we examine the historical context of the Ottoman Empire's emergence, it is essential to consider the role of other regional powers, such as the Byzantine Empire and the Mongols. The Byzantines, who had long been the dominant force in the region, were facing significant challenges, including internal power struggles and external threats from the Mongols. Meanwhile, the Mongols, under the leadership of Genghis Khan and his successors, were expanding their vast empire, which would eventually stretch from China to Eastern Europe. The early Ottomans navigated this complex web of alliances and rivalries with great skill, often forming strategic partnerships with neighboring states to further their own interests. For example, Osman I formed an alliance with the Byzantine Empire, which allowed him to expand his territory and secure key trade routes. This pragmatic approach to statecraft would become a hallmark of Ottoman diplomacy, as they sought to balance their own ambitions with the need to maintain stability in the region. As we conclude our examination of the Ottoman Empire's earliest history, we find ourselves poised on the cusp of a new era, one that would witness the rapid expansion of Ottoman power, the conquest of vast territories, and the emergence of a distinct cultural identity. The stage is set for the next chapter in this epic tale, as we follow the Ottomans into a period of unprecedented growth, marked by remarkable achievements and transformative events that would shape the course of world history. Join me next, dear listeners, as we embark on this thrilling journey, exploring the pivotal moments and figures that define the Ottoman Empire's ascent to greatness, and delving into the intricate web of politics, culture, and society that characterize this fascinating civilization. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, where we continue our journey through the annals of time, unraveling the mysteries of the past and illuminating the present. As we left off in our previous episode, the Ottoman Empire had emerged as a nascent state in northwestern Anatolia, poised on the cusp of a new era of rapid expansion and cultural growth. In the early 14th century, the Ottomans began to make significant strides under the leadership of Orhan I, the son of Osman Or. Orhan's vision for a unified and centralized state led to the establishment of a robust administrative system, which would become a hallmark of Ottoman governance. The Ottomans also developed a sophisticated military organization, with a strong emphasis on discipline, training, and mobility. One of the key factors that contributed to the Ottoman Empire's success was its strategic location at the crossroads of Europe and Asia. The city of Bursa, which became the Ottoman capital in 1326, was a major hub for trade and commerce, attracting merchants and travelers from all over the world. The Ottomans took advantage of this location to establish a thriving economy, with a strong focus on textiles, agriculture, and industry. As the Ottoman Empire expanded its territories, it also developed a distinct cultural identity. The Ottomans were influenced by Islamic traditions, as well as by the cultures of the regions they conquered. They developed a unique architectural style which blended elements of Byzantine, Persian, and Arabic design. The iconic mosques, palaces, and public buildings that dotted the Ottoman landscape became symbols of the empire's power and sophistication. The Ottomans were also patrons of the arts and sciences, encouraging scholars, poets, and artists to flourish in their courts. The famous Ottoman poet Yunus Emre wrote extensively on themes of love, spirituality, and social justice, reflecting the empire's values of compassion, tolerance, and intellectual curiosity. In the mid-14th century, the Ottomans faced a significant challenge with the arrival of the Black Death, which devastated populations across Europe and Asia. However, under the leadership of Sultan Murad I, the Ottomans were able to respond effectively to the crisis, implementing measures to contain the spread of the disease and provide relief to affected communities. As the Ottoman Empire continued to expand its territories, it encountered new challenges and opportunities. The conquest of the Balkans in the late 14th century brought the Ottomans into contact with European powers, including the Hungarians and the Venetians. The Ottomans developed a complex system of diplomacy and alliances, navigating the intricate web of European politics to secure their interests and protect their borders. The Ottoman Empire's growth and development during this period were also shaped by the influence of key figures, such as the Grand Vizier, Ali Pasha Dortun, a skilled statesman and diplomat. Ali Pasha played a crucial role in shaping Ottoman foreign policy and negotiating alliances with neighboring states. As we explore the historical context of the Ottoman Empire's expansion, it is essential to consider the role of other regional powers, such as the Timurid Empire and the Mamluk Sultanate. The Ottomans navigated this complex landscape with great skill, often forming strategic partnerships with neighboring states to further their own interests. As we conclude our examination of the Ottoman Empire's growth and development during this period, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment in history. The stage is set for the next chapter in this epic tale, as we follow the Ottomans into a period of unprecedented expansion, marked by remarkable achievements and transformative events that would shape the course of world history. Join me next, dear listeners, as we embark on this thrilling journey, exploring the pivotal moments and figures that defined the Ottoman Empire's ascent to greatness, and delving into the intricate web of politics, culture, and society that characterize this fascinating civilization. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, where we continue our journey through the annals of time, unraveling the mysteries of the past and illuminating the present. As we left off in our previous episodes, the Ottoman Empire had reached the pinnacle of its power and influence, with a vast territory spanning across 3 continents. However, from the 19th century onwards, the empire began to face significant challenges that would ultimately lead to its decline. One of the major factors contributing to the Ottoman Empire's decline was the rise of nationalist movements within its territories. As the idea of nationalism spread across Europe and the Middle East, various ethnic groups within the Ottoman Empire began to demand greater autonomy or even independence. The Greeks, Serbs, and Bulgarians were among the first to revolt against Ottoman rule, with the Greek War of Independence in 1821 marking a significant turning point. The Ottoman Empire's attempts to modernize and reform its military and administrative systems also faced significant challenges. The Tanzimat reforms, introduced in the mid-19th century, aimed to centralize power, promote equality among citizens, and encourage economic development. However, these reforms were often hindered by resistance from conservative elements within the empire, as well as external pressures from European powers. The Ottoman Empire's financial struggles also played a significant role in its decline. The empire's heavy reliance on foreign loans and its inability to repay them led to a significant increase in debt, which ultimately culminated in the establishment of the Ottoman Public Debt Administration in 1881. This administration, controlled by European creditors, had significant control over the empire's finances, further eroding Ottoman sovereignty. The late 19th and early 20th centuries also saw the rise of the Young Turk movement, a group of reform-minded Ottomans who sought to transform the empire into a modern constitutional state. However, their efforts were ultimately unsuccessful, and the empire continued its downward spiral. The final blow to the Ottoman Empire came with the onset of World War I. The empire's decision to enter the war on the side of the Central Powers proved disastrous, as it faced significant military defeats and eventually surrendered to the Allied powers in 1918. The subsequent Treaty of Sevres in 1920 led to the partitioning of the Ottoman Empire, with modern-day Turkey emerging as a smaller secular state under the leadership of Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. As we reflect on the decline and fall of the Ottoman Empire, it is clear that a complex array of factors contributed to its demise. The rise of nationalist movements, the challenges of modernization, financial struggles, and the devastating consequences of World War I all played significant roles in shaping the empire's fate. As the Turkish historian Halil İnalcık once noted, the Ottoman Empire was not just a state, but a civilization. Its legacy continues to shape the modern world, from the politics and cultures of the Middle East to the architectural landmarks that dot the landscapes of Europe and Asia. As we conclude this episode of History with Herodotus, we are reminded that the story of the Ottoman Empire serves as a powerful reminder of the complexities and challenges of state building, reform, and survival in an ever-changing world. Join me next time as we explore more fascinating stories from history and delve into the intricate web of politics, culture, and society that has shaped human civilization. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.